Assassin's Creed Shadows, best engravings to max your damage. If you want to hit harder, kill faster, and make every strike in Assassin's Creed Shadows feel like a finishing blow, this video is for you. Engravings can completely transform your build, but with so many options, most players miss the ones that truly maximize your damage output. So today, we're breaking down the best engravings for every weapon and gear type, from Katana and Tanto to armor and trinkets. By the end, you'll know exactly which combinations turn your assassin into a lethal powerhouse. Before we dive in, I just want to thank you all for the amazing support. Your comments and feedback keep me motivated to bring you more guides like this. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you are new, it really helps the channel grow. First, every epic and legendary weapon has one primary engraving, plus an empty secondary slot where you can attach a second engraving from the forge. Also, every engraving you own can be attached as a secondary engraving to a compactable weapon. Further, if you have upgraded your forge up to level 6, you can enhance your weapons and gear to mythic level for epic gear, and artifact level for legendary gear. These enhancements boost the engraving stats for mythic items by 100%. For this guide, I will stick to their base stats before any enhancements. Katana and Tanto. Let's start with your Katana and Tanto, your bread and butter. For your primary melee weapons, focus on engravings that maximize base damage, posture attacks, vulnerable damage, armor piercing, and critical hit chance. Your choice will ultimately depend on your specific playstyle. However, the very best engravings you can equip on these weapons are 100% critical chance after not attacking for 5 seconds, 8% damage per adrenaline chunk filled, which gives a total of 32% damage for Naoe and 40% damage for Yasuke. 100% damage, but all rations removed. This is amazing, but with a handicap. 24% damage when hitting vulnerable enemies. 100% armor piercing on critical hits. 10% critical hit chance when hitting vulnerable enemies. A perfect combination of engravings will one-shot most, if not all, enemies. Now the bow staff, perfect for players who love rhythm, speed, and sustained momentum. This weapon, which is a powerhouse in vulnerability damage, is also perfect for crowd control and equally great against single opponents. The best engravings for this weapon are attacks build up both poison and bleed affliction, 50% damage from poison on afflicted enemies, 10% critical hit chance with posture attacks. This weapon places Naoe almost at par with Yasuke when it comes to open combat. The Kusarigama and Naginata, the two most dynamic weapons in Shadows, are perfect for crowd control due to their long reach and area of effect. These two shine when you chain attacks seamlessly, control, distance, and damage all in one flow. The absolute best engravings are 100% damage on enemy collision for the Kusarigama only, 35% damage when surrounded by 2 or more enemies, 36% damage when hitting multiple enemies, 72% armor piercing when hitting multiple enemies, 8% damage per adrenaline chunk filled, 16% armor piercing per adrenaline chunk filled. With the right engravings on these weapons, clearing out large group of enemies will be a walk in the park.
Ranged weapons. Now let's talk about your ranged options, bows and teppo weapons. Whether you prefer silent kills from the shadows or loud, explosive strikes, engravings here can turn every shot into a deadly shot. The focus should be on precision and burst impact, and the best engravings are 5% damage per meter of distance, 16% damage when health is full, 8% damage per adrenaline chunk filled, 24% damage when hitting vulnerable enemies, great for kills after staggering foes, 200% damage when out of combat, a must-have for pure stealth builds. A strong ranged setup not only complements your melee combat, but also gives you tactical flexibility, letting you decide when to strike and when to vanish. Helmet. Your helmet engravings define your playstyle: pure stealth, melee, or hybrid. Your focus should be on engravings that boost your critical hit chance as well as direct or situational damage. The recommended engravings for the helmet are 24% damage when hitting vulnerable enemies, 10% critical hit chance when hitting vulnerable enemies, 10% critical hit chance with posture attacks, 8% damage per adrenaline chunk filled, vault over enemies while sprinting, which applies to Naue only. The helmet influences your build a lot, and your engravings here molds your playstyle. Armor. The armor engravings can further boost your damage output directly or conditionally. You have options for raw damage, posture damage, or armor damage. The best engravings you can equip on your armor are 75% damage increase but health reduced by 75% for Yasuke only. For Naue, you have a 50% damage to unharmed enemies, 50% posture damage on next hit after a kill, 50% damage on next hit after a kill. Remember, your armor isn't just protection, it's your personality in battle. Trinket. Finally, the Trinket. This small item provides the highest boost to your overall damage, irrespective of your playstyle or weapon of choice. Any engraving you equip here goes a long way in defining your character build and contributes over 50% of your overall damage output. There are a lot of options to choose from in this category, but the best ones which most players have in their builds are 1% damage per unspent mastery point, which is kept at 200% damage, 2% critical damage per mastery point in the Katana skill tree for a total of 172% critical hit damage, 1% health per mastery point in the Samurai skill tree for Yasuke or Shinobi skill tree for Naue, 15% damage per non-legendary or artifact gear equipped. If you get the engravings on your trinket right, your character becomes absolutely powerful. And that's it. The best engravings to push your damage to the absolute limit in Assassin's Creed Shadows. Every piece you engrave shapes your identity, whether you move like a ghost or fight like a storm. If this guide helped sharpen your build, drop a like, share it with your fellow assassins, and subscribe for more deep dive Shadows content. Until next time, stay hidden, stay deadly, and may the shadows favor your blade.